In today's class, toda kuita the angle between two lines. So our first note is going to be, to find the angle between two lines, we have to find the angle between the direction vectors of those two lines. Saka chekutanga, maybe serving as a recall, we should always know the equation of a line. And what is the equation of a line? Takati R is equal to A plus TB, where A is a point on the line, T is what we refer to as a parameter. I think in our lesson when we introduced vector 2 takashandisa lambda instead of T. Then B, which is important to what we want to learn, is referred to as a direction vector. Okay, so since we have recalled what the equation of a line is, let us write our point. Saka, to find the angle between two lines, what we have to do is we have to find the angle between the direction vectors, of the two lines. Saka, what do we mean by this? Chatiri kungorevera pano ndechekuti kana tichitsvaga the angle between two lines, chakanyanyo kukosha is this direction vector. Saka kutsvaga the angle between two lines zvakafanana kana kuti zvatinoita tinenge tichitsvaga the angle between the direction vectors of the two lines. So let us have our first example kuti ti-exemplify kuti tiri kumborevei by what we are learning. Okay, this is our first example. Iri kuti find the acute angle between the two lines. Saka these are our two lines. Saka we need to know what the direction vectors are going to be. Saka tinogona kutanga panapa toti the direction vectors what are the direction vectors? For the first line, direction vector ndi 1 1 2, as you can see 1 1 2, and for the second line, direction vector ndi 2 1 5, and it comes like that. Then what we should now know is kana tichiti, let us say, let the angle between two vectors, this is a note, let the angle between two vectors be theta. And it formula yatinoshandisa kuchitsvaga the angle between two vectors tinenge tichiti cos theta. So it's a cos is equal to the dot product between the direction vectors. Saka takuti A times B, but panapa you should appreciate kuti A iriku and B, and A and B are direction vectors. That's important. A and B are direction vectors. So it's A dot B over the magnitude of A multiplying the magnitude of B. Saka this should be in your notes. I think you already have it, but it's important to reiterate like this. Saka that's the formula we are going to use. Saka knowing the formula, ndobva tatsvaga zvakare kana kuti ndobva taita identify my direction vectors, our solution is almost obvious. Saka zvadai so teta kungoti therefore the cos of theta because theta we defined it as the angle between the two vectors, inenge equal to what is A dot what is B. Saka tatawa direction vectors are 1 1 2 and 2 1 5. This is over, we know that the modulus or the magnitude or the size of A is simply the square root of all the elements inside A, 1 squared plus 1 squared plus 2 squared, and this is multiplying 2 squared plus 1 squared plus 5 squared, like this. And saka we now need to solve this algebraically. So this is just equal to, we know kuti kana tichi multiplier kana kuti dot multiplication yema vectors tinenge tichiti 1 times 2 plus 1 times 1 plus 2 times 5. That we should already know. This is over panapa tribute the square root of 1 squared plus 1 squared d 2. Since 1 squared are 1, 1 squared are 1. So this is 2 plus 2 squared into 4. 4 plus 2 into 6. Then panapa 2 squared into 4 plus 1 to make 5. Then 5 plus 5 squared and what 25. So wrote 25 plus 5 into 30. Like this. Saka this is equal to 1 times 2 into 2. Then saka panapa 1 times 2 into 2. 1 times 1 into 1. 2 times 5 into 10. So to 10 plus 1 plus 2 and what 18 over. Then the square root of 6 times the square root of 30. Inenge iri, we can write it as just root 6 root 30. But munoziva from laws of sadza makaita in your O level kuti kana chiti the square root of A times B zvakafanana nekuti the square root of A multiplying the square root of B. Kureva kuti panapa you can put it as 13 over the square root of 30 times 6. 6 times 0 is 0 and 6 times 3, 6 of 18. You can get it like this. But since you are allowed a calculator in your pure maths examinations, mogona kuzoconclude kuti theta is equal to 14.3 degrees. And I want you to take note of what? Of degrees. Engo yedu tinoisa in degrees, not radians, like zvatinoita kusecular measure. So basically this is how it is done. Let us go to a second example. Our second example is to show that the cosine of the angle between the line, satapiwa a line, which is 153 plus lambda 101. Saka we want to show that the cosine of the angle between this line and the line parallel to the vector 2 3 minus 1 is 1 over the square root of 23. Saka panapa statement irirati and the line parallel to the vector riri kungotiudza kuti 2 3 minus 1 is a direction vector. Saka ma direction vectors edu panapa akamira so. From the line direction vector redu ndi 101, and from this statement yacho iri kuti and the line parallel to the vector 2 3 minus 1. Saka this is also a direction vector, like that. Saka taona kuti these are the direction vectors we have. Chatakungoita panapa takuda kuchitsvaga the angle between. Saka the angle between turns out it's cos theta, and it is equal to A dot B over like this. Saka this is what we are going to be using to solve. saka panapa tinenge takuti takuti cos theta iri equal to a yedu ndi 101, then b yedu ndi 2 3 minus 1. This is over 1 squared plus 0 squared plus 1 squared, 2 squared plus 3 squared plus minus 1 squared, like that. And saka this is equal to, kana kuti ngatirambe tichiti cos theta is equal to, panapa inenge iri 1 multiplying 2 plus 0 multiplying 3 plus 1 multiplying minus 1. Then 1 squared ndi 1, 0 squared ndi 0, 1 squared ndi 1. Saka po it's the square root of 2. 2 squared ndi 4 plus 3 squared ndi 9. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Then ekupesera ndi minus 1 squared, which is 1. Correct, panapa is the square root of 14. Like that. Saka tadai zviri kungoreva izvo kuti cos theta iri equal to, panapa it's 2, apa is 0, apo i minus 1. Saka tiri kuti 2 plus 0, 2 plus 0 minus 1. Saka i 2 minus 1, which is just 1, like that, over. Then remember the law of surds yata discussa, and let me reiterate it. Tati kana tina the square root of a, it will multiply the square root of b. We know that this is equal to the square root of a times b. So tikada ku apply this law panapa, zvoreva kuti the square root of 2 times the square root of 14 is square root of 2 times 14, which is equal to 1 over 14 times 2 then square root of 28. Question yedu yati tite show that the cosine of the angle between the line r is equal to and the line parallel to the vector is 1 over the root of 28. Saka ndopata swika panapa kureva kuti takutoti Shona. Saka aya ndo amwe mafunziro avanoita ma questions avo, but as you can see, as we have rightly demonstrated, we are going to get to just the same answer. If you have derived benefit from this lesson, may you please consider liking, sharing, subscribing, and commenting. If you want to join our private class doing advanced level pure mathematics, please WhatsApp us on this number. Thank you and have a nice day.